30 seconds, I want to follow the example of our fierce leader. Start back on time in 12:15. As a woman, we're expected to walk into a room with our head held high. We're expected to take care of the family and home, or go to work and put up with all the wonderful things we put up with at work. As a woman, our body goes through a lot of changes. And these women today have held together families, they have held together jobs, careers, relationship with people that have not always been fair to women. The next woman that we're getting ready to talk about is the fierce leader of the Urban League of Northwest Indiana. Now, I want to read to you all two quotes. The first one is by Melinda French Gage. She says, "A woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman." To know Dr. Vanessa Allen McCloud is to know a woman that's strong. She walks into every room, and in the region, you know that she's walking into the room to advocate for us, to advocate for women, brown and black communities, to ensure that equality happens across the board. The second quote I want to read to you is, "A change agent. A change agent is someone who promotes and enables change to happen within any group or organization. Her organization is one of the organizations that's leading change in this area. She is by definition fierce and also a change agent." So with that being stated, without further ado, we will have special remarks by Dr. Vanessa Allen McCloud. She is the president and CEO of the Urban League of Northwest Indiana.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So glad to be here looking out at this wonderful, beautiful audience of women, extraordinary women, and there are some men. So please give yourselves a round of applause. Giving honor to God and to all who are here to celebrate Women's History Month hosted by the NAACP Michigan City branch, I am humbled by the invitation to share. Thank you to Mrs. Danita Scully for the invitation and to the entire committee who contributed to putting this event together. To the president of the NAACP Michigan City branch, Wes Scully. Raise your hand, Wes. Thank you for your continued leadership and support to this community and the surrounding area. Even though he's the NAACP president here in Michigan City, Scully is everywhere. He is all over, and he lets you know that he's the president of the wonderful branch of the NAACP of Michigan City. Did you know that the Michigan City NAACP branch was founded by a woman, Mrs. Maddie Sue McMillan Dunlap, and some others? Thank you, Mrs. Scully, for sharing that information. Who knew? Well, now you know, it was a woman. To the mayor, Angie Nelson Deitch, and all of the political leaders, pastors, and laypersons of Michigan City, Indiana, I bring you greetings from the Urban League of Northwest Indiana, where we serve Lake, Porter, and Laporte counties in the areas of education, financial literacy, health and wellness, diversity and inclusion training, and also social justice and youth leadership. I brought with me a list of scholarships. We have scholarships for high school graduating seniors. The deadline has been extended to April 4th. You can go on the Urban League website, www.ulofnwi, and I passed some out in the audience. That's money, 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 money. We have about 4 or 5 pages worth of scholarships. Please sit down with your children, your grandchildren, your colleagues, your churches, your faith-based institutions, and share this information because it's for Lake Porter and Laporte County students. We also have scholarships for returning adults. If you are 25 years old or older and you are thinking about returning to school for whatever reason, we have money for you. There's $1,000 there for returning adult students. So pass the word. Women's History Month. Your theme is invest in women and accelerate progress. When you invest, you most times get a good return. When you accelerate, you move at a quick pace. The 2024 Women's History Month theme, Invest in Women, is powerful. That's a motivating theme. We're here to highlight and recognize those women, those trailblazers, as well as all of the women here in the Michigan City NAACP branch. Well, it's no secret that women are great. Aren't we great? Yes. We are wonderfully and marvelously made. We are extraordinary. We've been here. There's no shortage of extraordinary women. We know women who are favored, those who have overcome obstacles, those who have lived through and endured the hatred of racism, the disparity in wages, and so much more. When you invest in something, you expect a return. Well, with a woman, you get a higher return. Yes. That's right. After all, we are made to perform miracles. We can walk, chew gum, and try all at the same time. We carry the child, we birth the child, we train the child, yes. We go to the grocery store, we cook, we review homework, we attend PTA meetings, we serve in our faith-based institutions, churches, in the choir, on the usher board, on the committee, don't we? Yes. We work sometimes 50, 60 hours a week. We make presentations, we put together statistical reports, we take care of our elderly parents, we volunteer, we take our mammograms every year, amen? Amen. We overcome cancer, we lose our hair, we have hysterectomies, mastectomy, we have all of that, and we still rise to the occasion, don't we? Many of us don't look like what we've been through, but when we walk in a room, you can feel our presence. We walk with our heads held high, and we walk in confidence and not arrogance. Some of us are single, some of us are married, some of us are divorced, but we continue to persevere. We are women who are able to achieve, yet we still appreciate the luxury of being loved and respected and understood by our husbands, our partners, our significant others, and our family. Well, today we're here to celebrate, rejoice, and lift up our women in the Michigan City community. They are being honored today for their sacrifice, their commitment, and their perseverance to serve. Mayor Angie Nelson Dyke, Superintendent Barbara Easton Watkins, Judge Erica Stallworth, Captain Jillian Ashley, and former Mayor Sheila Mathis. These are the first. These are women who we should all be proud of. And I just have a few points to share with you. Point number 1, don't compare yourself with others. Everyone has their own role to play. Be yourself. I can't walk in Captain Ashley's footsteps. That's her lane. I can't serve on the bench like Judge Stallworth. That's her lane. We each have our lanes. Know your worth and stay in your lane and strive. Point number 2. You like that? Point number 2. Every now and then, we have to hit the reset button. You know the reset, Control, Alt, Delete. We have to reset, refocus, and revive our spirits because we give so much of ourselves. We sometimes forget to take care of ourselves. So mark yourself out. I remember years ago, I used to, when I was working at Purdue, I marked my calendar out and it said, Laura. Laura was from All My Children. Did you all used to watch All My Children? So I would put an appointment in for Laura. That meant I'm taking a break. I knew that, no one else knew that, so I would just put these names in the calendar, which would let me know that's my time to take a break. So make sure you take care of yourselves, ladies. Sometimes you have to get a manicure, pedicure, massage. Every now and then you may have to go see a therapist, and that's okay. Talk in the mirror to yourself, encourage yourself in the mirror, but every now and then you need to talk to someone and get out of your system, whatever it is in your system. Strong women never, ever give up. We may need a cup of coffee, we may cry one day, we may lay in the bed for a minute, but we always come back stronger. You have 3 minutes to have a nervous breakdown. Just 3 minutes. You can fall on the floor, cry, roll over, foam at the mouth, whatever you have to do. But then you have to get up, dry your tears, and keep it moving. We are resilient. We are focused. And when we set our minds to do something, we get it done. We get the job done with an exclamation mark behind it. Point number 3, last but not least, women, let's strive to work better together. No hate, no competition. Let's put aside whatever she may have said to you 2,500 years ago and make up and let's keep it going. So those women who are labeled aggressive, keep being assertive. Those women that are labeled bossy, keep on leading, but lead with compassion. Those women who are labeled difficult, keep telling the truth. Those women who are labeled, you're just too much, keep taking up that space and doing what you do. Those women who are labeled complicated, keep asking those important questions. We have a right to sit at the table, and that's the head table. Remember, we are not perfect. The honorees are not perfect. None of us are perfect. But they have taken up the mantle in leadership and to be of service. They need all of you, all of us, to support them in that. They are ordinary women who have done extraordinary things. For those of you who are aspiring to lead, don't let the entire staircase overwhelm you. Just focus on one step at a time. Be real, be authentic, reach out and help someone find their way. Mentor someone or be mentored by someone. In closing, let's remember who we are and whose we are. There's only one beautiful you, so embrace that. Energize yourself. We are intelligent, caring, brave women, and you have so much to offer. Accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. These honorees have given us a model to follow, so embrace them, support them, and determine how you can enhance your skills to be of service in this community and the surrounding areas. You can become all you can become if you have faith and if you believe, and of course, if you have a good support system behind you to continue to encourage you, because sometimes even the strong gets weak. Sometimes we are discouraged in our daily walk. But if you have someone that you can talk to, a sister girl who will tell you the truth, girl, that skirt is too tight on you. If you have a girlfriend that will tell you the truth, you should not have said that. You should go back and apologize. Girlfriends tell you the truth. Make sure you listen and be of service and continue to do all you can do. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Dr. Vanessa. And I thank her for her word collaboration. We as women must collaborate. We as women, in order to get the job done, you need everyone in this room. You need everyone. And it took me a long time to realize that. But I thank God for realizing it. I cannot do everything on my own and be a change agent in my community without what she said, collaboration is key. The next woman that we're getting ready to call up is Barbara Bowling Williams. She's going to be doing a recognition of women of influence and purpose. Barbara Bowling Williams was the president of the Indiana State Conference of the NAACP for 20 years or more. She just resigned that position in January of 2024. She will be recognizing our women of purpose and influence and honoring our women of power. Let's welcome her.
There we go. Yeah.
I love my sister Chelsea over here. Yeah. Because Chelsea has her own PR firm. And she does an amazing job with it.
Thank you.
And not only that, but she's always working whether she's working or not. Her primary goal is to make sure that we all look good. Yeah. Whether we're her clients or not. Thank you so much for the introduction. I want to say one thing about Dr. Vanessa McCloud. And her words were amazing. They were right on point. But she was lacking in one area. And that is, she didn't sing a song.
I know.
That woman can sing.
Yes, she can.
And had she done that, then she would have done everything she needed to do. So she left us wanting more. Yes. And that is to hear her sing. She is a good friend of mine, just as Chelsea is. And I have been asked to recognize and honor the women of purpose, influence, and power. And in NAACP, Vanessa, I first met her in the Gary branch. So she's a life member of the NAACP, and that's where we met, through NAACP. NAACP was founded by women. And for those of you who may not know, that W.B. Du Bois and Ida B. Wells were part of an organization called the NAACP movement. There was a precursor to the NAACP in 1905. And after the riot in Springfield, Illinois, then Mary White Ovington, along with others, convened in New York to talk about how to stem that violence against black people. And that led to the founding of the NAACP. And they brought on board with their organization, Ida B. Wells and W.B. Du Bois. So again, NAACP women were there from the very beginning. And so if you look around, you will always see that there is a woman in all kinds of facets of leadership. We may not be recognized as leaders because we're working behind the scenes, but we are leading the way from behind. We're pushing some man most of the time. And sometimes they'll step out the way and let us take our rightful place. And so that's what President Scully has done with his wife. He knows what a capable woman she is. And I'm only here right now because Donita said, well, I know I could do this part, but I do everything. So I want to sit back and I want to be recognized for all the amazing things that she does and being the backbone for this Michigan City branch. Hats off to me. And now for the task for which I have been assigned, to recognize first the women of purpose. All of the women in the room who are members of the local Michigan City branch 3061, who are not on the executive committee or being honored today to please stand. We want to acknowledge, if you're a member of the NAACP, Michigan City. Ladies, you are our women of purpose. We honor you today, we recognize you, and we have some certificates for you over there on the side. So when you get a chance, you don't have to go now, but when you get a chance, you have a certificate over there to recognize your being a woman of purpose. And then we move on to our women of influence. Now, we may all have been women of NAACP Michigan branch who are on the executive committee, and these are our women of influence. And so we're gonna ask you to come up, and when I call your name, Ms. Norma Thomas, the branch treasurer and hospitality team. Are you here, Norma? She's
She worked on the table.
but she just worked. So while they're going to get Ms. Norma, Ms. Donita Stelly, who is the branch secretary, Environmental Climate Justice Chair, Soul Power Project Manager, and Wes Scully's right-hand person.
Oh, yeah.
Right and left.
And here comes Ms. Norma Thomas. Then we have Ms. Faye Moore, membership chair, assistant secretary, former branch president. If you notice, these women are all wearing multiple hats, as we typically do. And Miss Amanda Bates, I've known this child, and I say a child because when I met her, she was a child. She has been faithful and involved with the NAACP and the Michigan City branch. She is the education chair, and the youth committee co-chair, Miss Amanda. And her mom is here. Are we always supporting our young folks? Peggy Cunningham, the health committee chair. Cora Cambridge, an at-large member and also part of the hospitality team. She's not here. Okay, Miss Cora, we're gonna give you a little applause in your absence, and those of you who how about Ashley Williams, an at-large member, Soul Power Advisory Team, social media, give her applause. She's not here either. Ava Savadu, at-large member, youth, co-chair, Savada. Thank you, Savada. That's like your regular. Get your name, always make sure that your name is pronounced correctly, that's right. Exactly. Katrina Davis Parham, at-large member, Crystal Criminal Justice Chair, and committee member. And she's not here. We also want to acknowledge Alfreda Nelson for all of her hard work on the Indiana State Conference State Convention that we held here in November, and it was an amazing event hosted by this community. In addition, we want to recognize a special NAACP partner from Indiana Black Expo, Ms. Pat Harris. Woo! Pat, come on up, Pat. Pat helped us obtain funding for the state convention and worked all the days of the convention registering individuals with workshops and meals. She was an amazing woman, a workaholic.
Yeah.
That's a woman who was actually spearheading this stuff.
Can they step down so you can take a picture?
Let's step down and take a picture. Everybody want to step down and take a picture? You want to get up there? Yeah, stay up there. We're going to take a picture.
All right, we'll take the pictures. Okay.
We got you all. I got all of you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Eyes open. 1,
2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
Women, what you do for the NAACP is invaluable. Our branch could not run without it, so again, we say thank you to you. And now, for the Women of Power honorees. As I call your name, come up, get your trophy, and have brief remarks.
You got a preacher now.
We're going to start with the first lady, not the first lady, the mayor of the city. Mayor Angie, our first Black female mayor of Michigan City. We are so proud of you, and you represent. I'm going to step aside.
Some people say that I might be a preacher, so I'm gonna take my time. I really forgot, my voice has been out for a while. Y'all can tell I'm talking too much. So I'm gonna take the microphone. But thank you to the NAACP of Laporte County for this recognition. Women's History Month is so important, but so is the NAACP. When we start talking about rights and equality, this is what you think of, right? And Women's History Month has become this new, and I'll say new word thing for Michigan City because of all the folks that worked on the Naomi Anderson project. How many, could you stand up if you worked on Naomi Anderson and all that went on with really recognizing a Michigan City native-born woman in the 1800s who fought for the rights of women and was nationally recognized. We had no idea. Another hidden figure, right? We have all these hidden figures that could have transformed the lives of so many young women. I think about my mom, and she talked about as a young child how they would guide them to certain types of jobs. If you were female, especially if you were a Black female, there were only certain jobs we would want you to have. You couldn't be a technology person. You couldn't be, a leader in a business. You had to be a secretary, a housekeeper, or something of that nature. But think about if they had recognized or understood. We always talk about understanding the assignment. I didn't understand my assignment today because I didn't turn in none of my work, paperwork, or anything. I gotta be better about that. But one thing that Dr. Vanessa said, she talked about reset, Control, Alt, Delete. So when I think of that, it made me think, I was supposed to read something, but I'm not. Control, Alt, Delete. So when you control the situation as women, we have to control our destiny. We have to control our environment. We have to control how we're perceived, right? And then when I think of the alt board, the alt button, sometimes you gotta transition to something else, right? You gotta make that turn. If you feel uncomfortable, if you're feeling some kind of way about what somebody said to you, you gotta make that turn and let people know, I'm gonna delete you. I'm gonna delete you. And sometimes you have to delete people out your life. And delete the words that people say and put on your back. Delete those falsehoods that are placed on you. And ignore them. And that's your reset button. I reset a lot. I don't have no problem deleting folks. And I think that's important as a woman that we understand that. But we also have to have those allies in men. We have men in here who support all of the things that we do. And sometimes you need a man or somebody not like you to remove those hurdles for you. And that are true allies in that sense of the word. So again, I thank you. Let me get to at least one paragraph of what I was going to say. the importance of the NAACP. I just want everybody to be reminded that there's still a lot of progress that has to be made when it comes to equity. I see it every day. You can have all the experience in the world, you're still going to be questioned. The beauty of being the mayor right now is I'm the last answer to your question when you were an employee. And they've heard a lot of no's recently, and saying, no, that ain't gonna happen. You got some money? Don't come asking for no money. And so being very deliberate in what you do, not wavering, being strong in your stance, and if you're wrong, taking a step back to say, I'm sorry, or I misunderstood, that is the key quality of being a leader. And again, I just want to thank, I still didn't read the paragraph. Lord, anyway, again, thank you to the NAACP, a sorority sister, for coming here. Always come to Michigan City you come. I see you more in Michigan City than some of the other leaders in Michigan City. And I just thank you for all the hard work and those decades of work that you've done with the NAACP, not only at the state level, but also at our local level. So I appreciate you.
And that's why she's the mayor. And it just reminded me, not really, but brought to my attention that I need to say this. We are in an election cycle. And if ever you wondered if your vote counted, that's proof that your vote counted.
Yeah.
And it's important that you make sure that you continue to vote in every election, because every election is important. So if you have people who are not registered to vote, they need to get registered. And what I look at, we seem to think that the primary election, kind of is a foregone conclusion, but it is not. There are people in that race who need your vote. There are people in that election who don't need your vote. And so consequently, that's your way to let your voice be heard. And what I say to people, let the primary election serve as your dress rehearsal for November. You don't miss your dress rehearsal, because that's your chance to get it right. And make sure that come November, you know exactly what you're going to do, what you need to do, and you go and do it. So that's my 2-minute spiel off topic. At our next honoree, I know her too. I know a lot of folks. and they're good people. But the important thing is that I know good people. Yeah. And that is the Honorable Judge Erica Stallworth. I am so proud of her.
Thank you. Get it done, Judge. Thank you.
So I always have to write my remarks down. Not an expert yet, I'm working on it. Being able to just speak freely, but I won't be before you long. So I want to first thank the NAACP Michigan City chapter for this award. I am deeply, deeply honored for this recognition. I am grateful to my parents, my family, my friends, and my church family for their continued love and support. This journey has not been easy. It's had many challenges along the way, but here I am. And I thank God for that. He is not here, but I'm also thankful to Judge Alavisos for appointing me as the juvenile court magistrate for Laporte Circuit Court. There are times he saw things in me that at times I didn't see it within myself, and he has been an encourager to me. When I was appointed, I understood that I would have an important impact on those that I encounter in my courtroom. However, I did not quite realize just how much of an impact that I was going to have on persons outside of the courtroom as well. I am a possibility model. I am an example that achieving your goals and success is possible, regardless of how you were brought up, single parent household, coming from a low-income community in Kingsford Heights, Indiana, and just being a Black woman. I am an example that when you surround yourself around people who encourage you, mentor you, love you, and support you, that you can achieve your goals. So I do not take my role lightly as a judicial officer and as a role model. It is an opportunity that I cannot and I will not waste. I am committed to serving the children and families of Laporte County to the very best of my ability while learning and depending on God for wisdom. Every morning I pray. Because this is not about me, it's about the people that I've been charged to serve each and every day. So while I may be the first, I pray that I certainly shall not be the last. And again, I thank you all for this recognition.
And I don't typically, say that I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. But after having 2 of my sorors just kind of coming before you, just about 4 days ago, I was on a conference call with the people I pledged with, and we were talking about what we're going to do next year, because this year's our 49th year. And what we're going to do next year for our 50th. And one of the things I tell people when they say, "You're leaving NAACP," I'm not leaving, but I am. What are you going to do? I said, I'm going back to my sorority. I was active in my sorority. Next, I'm so proud again to recognize Captain Jillian Ashley, the first Black female captain of Michigan City. And as she comes forward, I'm especially proud of her because my cousin was the first Black captain and the first Black female hired by the Hammond Police Department. So this just kind of brings back memories and says, when Erica says, I hope I won't be the last, and she's just proof, Captain Ashley, that she's not going to be the last. My cousin wasn't the last, because you are.
Well, hello, Queens. Hello. Hello, Queens. Hello. You want to give yourselves a round of applause just for being here. I start off by thanking my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, this is impossible for me. And I honor my husband, who is not in the house, but he is with me today. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk a little bit about him just in a little bit, because I want my brief words to be about how I became who I am today. And so, also I want to thank the NAACP, Laporte County Branch 3061, in particular President Scully and his wife, Danita. Bless you all. We are all the same members of the same church, so we know each other very well. So all of the family and friends who have come out to support today, not just myself, but all of the honorees, thank you for being here. Your support means so much to all of us, and we know that we cannot do this by ourselves. We absolutely have to have you. To all the ones I've just heard speak, I aspire to be where you all are. You're an amazing woman, and I am honored and I'm humbled even to be in the same program as your names are. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Your inspiration. I was at that state conference and I'm just inspired by you. So yes. And so to all of us in this place, I thought about, Lord, what should I speak about today? And the thing that came to mind was, tell the story about how you got here. How did you get to be the first, not just woman captain, but the first Black captain of Michigan City? How did this happen? And so, I've been with the department for 17 years, but I will tell you this. I would not have been with the department had my beautiful, handsome husband, Pastor David L. Ashley Sr., if he did not fill out my application. So when we talk about support and having a man support you, him seeing something in me that I absolutely did not see in myself, because I would have never put my pen to that application. To be a police officer in the city of Michigan City, where I did not see very many people that looked like me. And I knew that would be an issue for my mother, who was a single mother, and was going to be concerned about my welfare. And so I remember going through the process, and I did real well in the testing. I did real well for the physical fitness part. I did very well, and all of a sudden I'm at the top of the food chain. And I remember I had a great job because I worked with youth. I worked for the state of Indiana. I worked with youth. I love working with youth. And so I had a phenomenal job. And I remember telling the Lord, I said, well, Lord, if you want me to do this, I don't really want to take not one day off of work to go to whatever I have to go to. Every time the commissioners scheduled me for something, I happened to be off that day. And so I knew that God desired me to be where I'm supposed to be. And even in that process, I said, well, I still don't know what my purpose is. Why do I need to be a police officer? Because I'm always going to be in law enforcement. I was going to be a judge. Why do I have to be a police? Yeah, I'm going to be like Magistrate Sauer. Why do I have to be a police officer? And so I realized, though, out of every step of the way, out of every triumph, there's a reason why I cannot do that from the outside, but I had to be on the inside. Yes. If you really want to affect any change in any society and any organization, you cannot expect to do that looking at the outside, complaining about how things are, when you can be on the inside really affecting that change. And so I realized I was out of my comfort zone because nobody in that moment looked like me. So how do a African American female speak to predominantly men who happen to be of another nationality? How do I affect change on the inside? Come on now. One at a time. When you allow your integrity to speak for itself, when you allow your righteousness, if you will, to speak for itself, when you don't lie and you tell the truth, I love this talking about the truth. When you tell the truth, even though it may offend, if it's still the truth, it's the truth. And so when you can stand on telling the truth and make sure that you are always living a life of integrity, dedication, and professionalism, because that is the acronyms, that is what the motto of the Michigan City Police do. When you really live that, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Nobody will be able to ever tell you that Captain Ashley did not do her job. Nobody. And they can never tell you that she cursed me out. That never happened. I've been with the department for 17 years. I know how to talk to people. When you know how to talk to people, you can get things done. You can get things done. My husband desired to be here today. He could not be. And I feel his presence with me, and I thank God for him. We have a beautiful love story, 25 years married. I'm proud to be his wife. And so we have some, like Magistrate Laporte said, she prays that she doesn't be the last, or the last. We have 12 females on our department. I make it my business. All the females know who Captain Ashley is. I do not let them be alone. If they need to talk, if they need to, cry, because that happens too. If they need to, if they're thinking about quitting, because it's hard sometimes. Being out there with a bunch of men, it's just hard sometimes. I make it my business to know who they are. And I try my best to recruit. So can you help me do it? Help me recruit some more females, especially people of color. I'm so grateful that I have an officer who is, I'm not the only one now. We have one more African-American female, and I'm super proud of her as she's coming along for almost 2 years on our department, but we need more. So if you can send them our way, give them my name, because we really want to see women shine. We all are very important. We can get work done. We are stronger together as long as we're being our authentic selves. Be who you are. I love that. Thank you, Doctor, for that. Be who you are. Be who you are, your authentic self. God bless you all. Thank you.
Wow, how inspiring, my goodness. And then we have the former mayor, Sheila Wilson Matthias. Did I say that correctly? Okay, Matthias, okay. Come on, Madam Former Mayor.
I am so honored. I have to compose myself. Just means a lot to me. So I am going to stick to my notes. I probably will pepper them with a few of my silly jokes, but it is so lovely to be here today. I'm honored that the NAACP leaders and members have chosen me to be in a room with such amazing leaders, amazing and gifted women, not only at this table, but all around the room. We know what women can do. Dr. Aviv, you nailed it with your talk. There were so many things that you mentioned, including how amazing our bodies are, how amazing it is that we can schedule all of the people around us, our families, our children. I'm honored to be with the people in this room, but think of all the women who have gone ahead of us. Pat and I were talking about Mamie, Becky Williams, Yvonne Stevens-Norvell. I mean, there's so many amazing women who were part of our community, who guided us, who mentored us, who coached us, gave us a kick in the pants when we needed it, right? So they are still with us because they helped grow our community and make us strong. But this honor has kind of made me reflect on my career and where I have been as a woman, as a human. I was only 39 years old when I won as mayor. And when we talk about the vote, I won by 67 votes. The second time I ran for mayor, I won by a landslide. But the first time, I had 6 little kids at home. I had just gone through a not very nice divorce. And yeah, people were like, what's she gonna find, Mary Poppins to help her with those children? Honestly, someone wrote an Ann Laporte letter asking if I had Mary Poppins in my back pocket to help me with my family. Of course, they didn't ask any men that, I might add. But yes, as a woman, in the 80s, when I ran for city council, I was on the council for 2 terms. In the 80s, I actually was running for office and I hid the fact that I was pregnant because I knew that people would hold that against me. How could a person be a mother and do something else as well? So I hid it until I won, and then all of a sudden, I was pregnant. 2 months later, I had a baby. It's just amazing. So I do want to mention that the NAACP and the community of color has been with me from the very beginning of my journey. I would say that those 67 votes, I know where they came from. I was part of Joe Hawkins' garage strategy. If you've been here a long time, you know what that means, right? Every Saturday morning on the west side, Maxine and Joe opened up that garage door and there were rows and rows of seats. And Joe expected every seat to be filled, right? I see some of you nodding. You remember those days. I was there for months and months trying to make sure that we convinced people how important their vote was, how every vote needs to be counted. And Joe Hawkins, God bless his soul, was part of the movement that gave Angie the opportunity, that gave Jillian the opportunity, that gave Erica the opportunity. Those folks that went ahead of us, they laid the groundwork. This just didn't happen overnight. And we know how slow progress goes. It's incremental and it's hard, but every person in this room is setting an example. We are role models, and we know we are. You know, I walked in today, and a young lady approached me. She's in the room still, I forget where she's sitting. But she said, "I'm so glad to meet you. You were mayor when I was a little girl, and I remember you always wore red." There you are. And it's interesting, I actually showed her my red purse, just for fun. But, you know, she was a young girl, and I've had that happen to me so many times where people say, you know, I was in junior high, and we came to your office, and you let us sit in the pink chair. I remember that, and you took pictures up with us. And you used to live in the White House. For truth be told, I lived in a White House. But it was, you know, it was an old house on the corner of Earl and Wabash, and everyone thought it was the White House. So those were really good days, hard days. When I served as county commissioner in 2018 to 2022, I was amazed that decades had passed, and often I was still the only woman at the big boy table. So when we talk about recruiting for police officers, we also need to recruit candidates who can represent the real thing that is important. You have to pay your taxes every year. Don't you want people who share your values to be spending that money on your behalf? It's more important now than it has ever been. So I encourage you to make sure we all have a seat at the table. You all know Tiny Allen. Her son Larry was my city attorney back in the day. And somehow his face came to my mind when I was thinking about what I would say. And I remember he and I, Blue Chip is here because of the work Larry and Sheila and our team did to fight for that last license. We were competing for the license, and our cars were on autopilot back and forth to Indianapolis to the Gaming Commission. And the first Blue Chip wanted to sell their license 2 years in, and Boyd Gaming was trying to purchase it. So Larry and I were sitting at a table down in Indianapolis in a boardroom, he and I, representing Michigan City and Laporte County, surrounded by a table full of Las Vegas suits. And those weren't $500 suits, I can tell. And Mr. Boyd was sitting at the far end of the table, and Larry and I were sitting there, and I'm telling you, I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to fight for this community, but I wasn't a lawyer, I wasn't, you know, a financial expert, but I ran with my gut. And finally, after 2 hours of negotiating, Mr. Boyd, we weren't winning, it didn't appear to me because I wasn't making much progress. Mr. Boyd leaned across the table and he said, "Give the lady what she wants." That really did happen. That really did happen. So, Angie knows the weight of being mayor. Being the first at anything is hard, being the first. You're setting a model, but also for me as the first female, I had daughters, 3 sons and 3 daughters, and I wanted to be sure that any young lady, my daughter, my sister, your sister, who came behind me would have a good role model to follow. And that nobody in this community or in this county could say, "Remember what happened when that last lady was the mayor?" So, Angie, I primed the pump, but you are soaring and you are taking it away. So I hope that your journey is successful, but we are here to to put the wind under your wings. And I guess that would be what the thing that I would like to leave us with is change is great, energy is great, but a mayor and a community, a police department, the judicial system, we don't run independently. We need our sisters. We need our community. We need our families, our partners, our faith communities to lift us up, to help us do the right thing, to make change happen, to look out for those who are less fortunate. This community has not always done it right. We know we haven't. Mistakes have been made, but now the energy is here to correct those mistakes, to make our community a community of inclusion, where everyone, regardless of what neighborhood, what color their skin, what faith they are, everyone has a stake in it and has a place at the table. That's the legacy we all hope to leave behind us. Thank you so much for this honor.
Wow. Oh, this has not been inspiring. And last but not least, my namesake, Dr. Barbara Eason White. She is the first Black female superintendent in the Michigan City area schools. She's right behind. Oh. Okay.
Turn it up. She come through your phone.
Speak now.
Get it. Okay. Yeah, to the speaker at the bottom of the phone.
Okay, try again now.
Good afternoon.
There you go. Good afternoon.
Okay, I am certainly sorry that I could not be there in person today. The energy that exists, it is really heartwarming when you think about what's happening today. You know, you all are recognizing some of the most dynamic, courageous, and driven women, not only in Michigan City, but in the country. And I am truly honored to prestigious recognition. And I'm really excited about the future as we think about the things that are happening in Michigan City, the things that we know are on the horizon. And I can already feel the earth tremoring because I know change is coming. And so I'm just excited to be a part of this community. And I'm really excited about the leadership that is moving this city forward. You know, as the superintendent of the Michigan City area schools, it's been really important to have a lot of community collaboration and support. And I certainly appreciate the active support and engagement of the Laporte NAACP, and also that of many of the honorees as they have supported our students, mentored our students, you know, made sure that we had a very strong start of the school year, provided scholarships to our students. These things are some of the things that many students and communities aren't able to have access to. And it's been something that's been extremely important. I've always said that it takes a village, and all of you have certainly been the village for the Michigan City area schools. And I think back to, you know, my own childhood. I grew up with a group of very, very strong women, my grandmother being one of them. At a time during civil rights when my mother told me stories about how they could not access schools that were in their community that were built for them. And it was my grandmother and my grandfather, who was a local pastor, who brought the African American children into their church to ensure that they could get the education that they needed and continue on at high school in a two-room schoolhouse. And from the very beginning, my mother emphasized how important it was for me to really ensure that my education was in order. But I later learned that my calling as well was to serve as an educator. And I've done that now for almost 50 years. And I just really appreciate that I've received. And when I think about where we are today as a country, it's important to really support the African American women who are in office, those who are doing great things to support our young people, and doing things in support of our community. And one of the things that I think we all have to commit ourselves to is ensuring that we mentor, that we guide, we support, but we also empower the next generation. I know I wouldn't be here today had doors not been opened for me. And we not only still have to keep that door open, we have to continue to lift up our current leaders, but also make sure that we are steadfast in ensuring that the door doesn't close for the young people in the next generation. So again, I appreciate this recognition. Sorry I couldn't coordinate schedules across states in terms of spring break so that I could spend a couple of days with my granddaughter and great-granddaughter. But I do want to thank you for this honor and all that you've done, and I know will continue to do in support of the Michigan City Area School students, because you care, you are passionate, and we know that with your continued support, this school district will continue to make strides. I'm excited about the upcoming, we're almost now at 10 years with our early college program, because we knew that our students had the capacity. We just had to give some of them some added resources and support, and they are thriving. So I thank you again for all that you've done. I thank you for this recognition. And again, I'm looking forward to great things ahead for Michigan City. And thank you, Laporte, NAACP.
So if we could, if all of our power honorees could just stand one last time and be recognized.
This has been a power-packed ceremony. And the one word that comes to mind for all of the honorees are simply trailblazers. I want to take a moment while we're getting their photos photographed to say thank you. Thank you to all of them and to congratulations. And for closing remarks, I would like to have, will be by President Wesley Scully. Mr. Scully?
Thank you so much. This has been an awesome program, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right. First, I would like to say to all the queens in the house, would you please stand and give yourself a round of applause? Appreciate you coming out and supporting this endeavor. You may be seated. I want to thank the Blue Chip workers for preparing such an awesome lunch. Did you enjoy the lunch?
Yeah.
Pretty good, huh? Thank them for that. I want to thank all the honoraries, all our members from the Laporte County NAACP 3061 for all your hard work, for your support. I want to thank all the men in the house that has come out to support this program. And I didn't write anything down. Sometimes I like to speak from my heart. Sometimes that may not be a good idea. Depends on how long my day has been and my night. But I'm going to give it a shot today, all right? And I just want to say, before I say anything else, make sure all the members, you get your certificates over there, okay? That's it. I was thinking about this National Women's Month. And I thought about 3 important queens in my life that I saw as a young man who had to figure it out. Really didn't have the father figure there. Not just crediting him, he did the best he could. Just went in the house. And those 3 ladies are my grandmother, my mother, and my wonderful wife. And I would say that, like, my grandmother, we from the South, raised in the South, and we would go there every year to spend the summer with my grandfather and my grandmother on their farm. And I would watch this lady. Now, mind you, they came up in Jim Crow South. My grandfather was, not only did he come up, but he was a farmer, and he had to work hard in that heat all day. But I watched my grandmother. She would be the first one up every single morning and made sure not only did he have his breakfast, he had his lunch, and it was prepared for him. Because he would go out in this heat where it was 90 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I watched her, she would be the last one, first one up, the last one in bed. So she taught me work ethic. She taught me what it was like to carry the load and hit the floor first and lay down last. She taught me what it meant to be the glue and the backbone of our whole entire family. I admired her and I honored her and I loved her. She instilled that in me. And then my mother, powerful woman, took care of everybody in Eastport. My sister had 10 kids. Now, one of her kids ever went hungry if my mother had anything to do with it. She would hit all the farms and the fields, and she would gather all summer long, and then in the fall she would can. Everybody had something to eat. Rosie kind of made sure that. So when I brought my wife to her, for some reason she took such a liking to Donita. I believe she liked her more than she did me. And Vanessa, I gotta say this, awesome speech. I loved every bit of it. Awesome. So the words that my mom gave me after we dated for a couple of years, about a year, she said, let me tell you something, boy. See, I thought I was a hot cat. I thought I was something because I had a nice car. I mean, I wasn't no Arabelle Fundy or nobody, but I made my way. And she said, let me tell you something. You need to go somewhere and sit down. Because you ain't going to find one like this one. You're not going to find one like this one. So those words resonated in my spirit and in my heart 47 years ago. Wow. We've been together 47 years. We raised 6 boys, 2 girls. Now we're raising a little guy, 4 years old. I thought we were done, but oh no. Never made plans because God got a way of laughing at it. 13 grandchildren. And I've been running the NAACP in Michigan City for 12 years. And people say, aren't you tired yet? Yes, I am. I would love to pass the buck, but as long as there's work to do, because of those 3 ladies in my life that God had put in my life, I shall not lay down. I will keep striving for greatness. And when I thought about this national celebration for female, for women in our country, and I thought about the plight that ladies and women in this country have to go through as being considered as second-class citizens. And I saw how you pull yourself together, how you pull each other up. And now you begin to gain power and control. Because one sermon I heard years ago, if America ever want to be the true greatest country on the planet, then they need to put a woman as the president. And the woman needs to come from the projects. Because one thing she's not going to do, she ain't going to send a baby over to another country to get blown up so you can ride around in your yachts. She's not going to take people working hard every day and take half their money in their taxes. And I agree with that. But ladies, you are second to none in my book. And I thought about this day. I thought about this moment. I thought about the honorees, the power that they bring to the table. And I said to myself, you know what? This branch that I'm running would be nothing without our female. Nothing. Ladies, there's not an organization on the planet, especially in America, whether it be churches, synagogues, government, education, that you're not running, that you're not making it better, and that you're not in control. So I said to myself, if there's anything that I would like to do this time, even though we started late, and thank God for my amazing wife, man, this girl can put it together. She only had 3 weeks to do this, or maybe 4. And I just said, you know what, I got to do something to honor the ladies in my branch. Because ladies, without y'all, this old boy would have been jumped off this ship. But when I look at your faces and look at your determinations, and when we put something together, how you support, it just encourages me. And I just want to take my hat off to every woman, every queen in this building today. Thank God for you. And when God took you out of the side of man, he didn't put you behind him. He didn't put you under him. He didn't put you over him. And he sure didn't put you in front of him. He put you beside him. And like my wife told me today, I said, well, won't you take a break? She said, Wes, I'm just trying to make you look good. I said, go ahead, baby, with your bad self. I'm just trying to make you look good. That made me proud. That made me proud. I can't say enough. I'm never going to say enough because I'm glad God made me a man. And I enjoy being a man because I enjoy women. I enjoy ladies. I'm not intimidated by your stride and your power, but it's not about competition. It's about banding together and make the greatest country that we live in on the planet even greater. And because of you, and because of your stride, and because of the power that you possess, the country is headed in the right direction after this next election. So with that being said, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this endeavor. I hope you appreciate it because it truly came from my heart. And I hope you appreciate the hard work that Donnie put into this. I really do. And I'm not saying that lightly. It means the world to me to be able to do this today. And we're just so blessed with so many powerful ladies, so many smart ladies, and branch members from our branch, 3061. Hang in there. Give me your ideas. Let's work together. Let's take this thing farther up the road. Amen. God bless y'all. Can I say a prayer to pray us out?
Prayer. I just encourage them. I'm so excited about this. Can we all stand and give the NAACP 3061 grant of Donald Crawford one
I know some of you, membership is always, membership is the lifeblood of our branch. Because we wouldn't be nothing without members, right? And I would be remiss if I didn't, like my president, she's still the president, because my book didn't stress the fact that if you're not a member of our branch, we got plenty of applications out front. Some of you guys, I know you renewed your applications. Some of them actually joined today, and we're so happy for that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me say this. Yeah. You got a program in front of you. The QR code is on the back. And you can go on to that and actually sign up right there on our new website. And by the way, we got a brand new website, and it's awesome. Real quick, super easy to remember. It's www.naacp3061.org. Go and visit our website. It is phenomenal. We just got a young lady who created it for us, and we're so happy that she's done a great job. Okay? With that being said, let's dismiss with a quick prayer. How many of you believe in prayer? I know I do. All right. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this awesome event. We thank you for the queens that's come out to represent, that has stood before us in their greatness and their support. And I'm so happy that you gave me the vision to honor their effort and their endeavors. So as we go forth this day, God, I pray that the Holy Spirit and the angels that's assigned to each and every one of them will go with them and encamp about them and protect their family and themselves, their spouses, and everyone that they come encounter with. In Jesus Christ's holy name, I do pray. Amen.